Call to order for the Board of Education. Pledge allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A meeting, a public hearing and regular meeting of the Board of Education District 208. Can we have a roll call, please, Ms. Nardi?
Mr. Durkin?
Here.
Ms. Gaska?
Here.
Ms. Ruska?
Here.
Ms. Black?
Here.
Mr. Benhart?
Here.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
And Ms. Bailey?
Here. We'll move on to Dr. Freitas and recognitions tonight.
Good evening, honorable board members and the community at large. You know, this is always my favorite part of the meeting. Why? Because we get to recognize our scholars, our Bulldogs. This evening, I would like to introduce one of our most hardworking employees who's always there with me, who's always there supporting our Bulldogs whenever they're on the field or competing athletically. I would like to introduce, to help me facilitate the recognitions, our Assistant Principal for Athletics, Mr. Brendan Curtin.
Thank you, Dr. Freitas. I'd like to start with our representative from girls golf. Maya, if you could join us up front here, please. Mayan Covarrubias is the first RB female golfer to qualify for the IHSA State Golf Tournament twice, and also the first to qualify for day 2 of the tournament. Mayan capped off another successful golf season, which included all conference, where she was second place in conference, top 10 regional golfer, and state qualifier. Congratulations, Mayan. I'd like to give thanks to head coach Doug Schultz and assistant coach Jason Rock. Next, I'd like to call our girls cross-country members to the front of the room, please. First, Gianna Gelb. Gianna is a sophomore. She's a wonderful student athlete that is great to have on the team and is growing into a significant leader. Gianna has run in 2 consecutive IHSA cross-country state meets and improved her finishing position from the 2021 state final by 112 positions. She placed 35th overall this year at the IHSA state final. Since the IHSA went to a 3-mile race distance, that places her number 2 on the list of best finishes of any RV girls cross-country runner at the state meet. Congratulations. Next, Bryce Pekoric. Bryce is a senior, is a positive and impressive student athlete, and has been a fantastic teammate over her 4 years at RB, along with being a valuable leader for the past several years. Her accomplishments as a cross-country athlete are some of the best RB has ever seen. Bryce has qualified to compete in the IHSA state meet all 4 years. Only one other RB girl has done the same, and that was in 1984 to 87. With 2.1-mile races. Her 40th place finish this year at state was the 4th best place any RB girl has finished at the state meet. Of all the RB girls who have run in the IHSA state meet since 2002, Bryce holds the 4th, 13th, and 15th best RB finishes of all time. Congratulations, Bryce. I would also like to congratulate head coach Blair Johnson and assistant coach Armando Venegas. Next, I'd like to invite our representative from girls swimming. Haley Bolchek broke 3 varsity records and 4 sophomore records on her way to placing 4th at the IHSA State Swimming and Diving Championships in the 200-yard freestyle and 17th in the 500-yard freestyle. Haley, a 2-time state qualifier, is RB's first ever state medalist in RB swimming. Congratulations, Haley. Congratulations also to head coach Mike Lorich, assisted by Julia Keller. Next, Next, I'd like to invite members of our boys cross country team to the front of the room, please.
Gentlemen, I have to say, I think you're forgetting something, right?
The boys cross country team had a memorable and historic 2022 season. The team won 3 invitationals, the Metro Suburban Conference Championship, a regional championship, a sectional championship, and the Class 2A state championship. This was the first state team championship in RB school history. It was truly a team effort and could not have been achieved without all of our athletes' participation. In addition to the team's success, 6 athletes were all conference, and Cooper Mars, Jack O'Brien, Will Callis, Brennan Lester, Zach Gaynor, and Hayden Mars. 3 were all regional, Cooper Mars, Jack O'Brien, and Zach Gaynor. 2 were all sectional, Cooper Mars and Jack O'Brien. The Bulldogs also had 2 state individuals, Cooper Mars, who placed 5th place, and Jack O'Brien, who placed 16th place. Congratulations to the team. At this time, I'd like to introduce each member of the team one by one. Congratulations to Cooper Mars. Congratulations to Jack O'Brien. Congratulations to William Callis. Congratulations to Zach Gaynor. Congratulations to Brady Norman. Congratulations to Brennan Lester. Congratulations to Hayden Mars. Congratulations to Misael Herrera. Congratulations to Evan McMullen. Congratulations to Asa Kale. The team was coached by assistant coach Arthur Stringham and head coach Jack Brady, who, by the way, Jack Brady was named the Illinois Track and Cross Country Coaches Association Coach of the Year. Congratulations to all our athletes. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's been a memorable fall season. Thank you for all your contributions.
Hold on. Board of Education says this is the first team state championship in school history. We'd like for you to come around with the boys and take a picture with the state championship trophy, please. I'm in the front.
Okay. Short. I heard you.
Squeeze in a little bit.
All right, you guys need to, need to
Photography teacher.
I'm the photo teacher. We need, I'm sorry, let them through here. Come on, both of you, come right up here. Come on. They can see around you. Come up closer to this, Okay. Can you guys all see? Now, we don't want you just poking through there. We gotta look.
Get in there, buddy.
Dr. Skin, can stop just a little. We can see you there. All right, you okay? Okay.
Can we get
Just a little.
there?
There you go. There you go, right there.
Coach, get in
There we go. That's right. You get in tight. No, you stay here.
Okay.
Yeah, you stay here. There we go. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Where's Jeff? Can we see him?
All right, we're just going to stare at the white screen and let everybody just snap pictures.
And here we go. In 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
I found out last week.
I don't see a post here from SA. I'm not seeing.
Maybe they're not coming, so that might be right up here.
Do we have anyone here from SA tonight? While they're filing out? Okay. I think we'll get a report on some SA activities from. Okay. We're going to move on to the parents. We're going to take things a little bit out of order with leave of the board to do the parent groups since parents are here. Do we have an order in the agenda?
It just says parent
Parent
groups.
organizations. So Dr. Freitas, want to talk the parent organizations,
Yes,
please?
if we could have a Jen Royer and the athletic boosters come on up. Yes, yes, please. Thank you.
This is going to be really hard to follow that. History making. Okay. I am here on behalf of Sports Boosters. I'm serving as the president this year. As Dr. Freitas said, I'm Jenny Royer. I'm just going to hit the couple of the points that I was told needed to be covered.
That's fine, Jay. We just,
Yeah.
formality, just
I'm a
make
rule
you're keeping up
follower.
with board policy. You're
Yes,
good.
I'm a rule follower. I'm not sure if you got.
Everybody should have a handout
Yeah,
for
this,
them
yeah.
from the board.
Okay, so on the first, this is just the annual report from last year. It's what we do every year. This is posted on the RB Sports Boosters website. And on that cover page, it lists all of our officers for this school year. Myself, Sandy Bryalot, Kristen Hoyd, Michelle Ruska, and Amy Raymond. And you'll also find in the report, it's toward the end, sorry, it's at the back, the financial summary. And all of our financial summaries are also included on the Sports Boosters website that you can access at any time. The only major donation I wanted to highlight, well, actually there are two. One is Sports Boosters purchased the inflatable bulldog head that you probably have seen at some home events. We'd like to see it start being used at, like dances or, for backdrop for pictures or whatever, things like that. And I'm not sure if people are aware that Boosters has also purchased a Touch Pro screen. I'm not sure if anybody knows what that is. There's a picture in here. I don't know if you've noticed at other high schools, there'll be really, really big touch screens. It, is basically rolling pictures. You can actually access, search functions on the screen by touching it. And Sports Boosters, as a parent organization, chose to make this not just about athletics. Some schools do have a big screen that's just athletics, but this one is for the whole school. It will capture fine arts activities and awards, academic activities and awards, as well as athletics. So those will be the three main sections. And that, I've been told, is being installed this week. So
Where is it being installed? Do we know?
Just outside indoor concessions. It's a huge screen. I mean, it's probably as wide as this table. The goal, if there's interest and if it is kind of as cool as we think it's going to be, we'd love to do another one at the front entrance. So, I think other than that, I'll confirm verbally that we are in compliance with all of the website policies and all of the other requirements.
Great, thank you. That's the main thing. For all the parent groups, we appreciate you taking time. We know you're putting in a ton of time for the school district, and we want to make sure you understand our appreciation. This is just an annual procedure to make sure that everybody's keeping up their website, their insurance information, their 501c3 status, so that we're in compliance with board policy. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for all that you do. Are there any questions from anyone on the board? I should ask.
I should have asked if there are any questions, sorry.
Not seeing any.
Okay, awesome.
Yes, thank you for all.
Thank you.
Who is next?
Next, I'd like to invite Letty and Lisa from the music
boosters.
sponsors.
Wonderful.
Hi, Larry.
How are ya? Good. I'm Leticia Leffel. I'm co-president of Music Sponsors with Lisa Spacionis. We also have, sitting out here, Lisa Janunas, who's our vice president, and Cindy Reynolds, our secretary. Kirsten Bell couldn't be here tonight. We are also kind of just going to touch on the couple things that you had asked for. Our financial summaries and things like that are also on our website. As far as we know, everything is on there, the 501c3 status, the insurance, all of those things are good to go.
Can you tell us what your website is, just so we have it, please?
Yes.
So people listening at home can look it up?
Yes, it is rbmusicsponsors.com.
Thank you.
Sure. You wanna talk a little bit about some of the scholarship, some of the things that we did last year as far as fundraisers and giving out money to the kids, which is, ideally what we would always do, are providing scholarships for lessons, drum major camp, and last year we were unable to take a music department trip, which is typically every other year, so we kind of gave back the share of our normal non-share year to the kids, and we did a trip in downtown to the Art Institute in Moulin Rouge, which was fun.
And there's a big trip this year, correct?
There is a big trip this year.
And we did the fundraiser already this fall, correct?
We did quite a bit of
We had
fundraising.
several options for the kids across the gamut, from cheesecakes to candy bars, the vertical rays, and Little Caesars, right?
Yeah.
Is it Little Caesars? Yeah. So that worked out really well. It was a good variety, whether they just wanted to ask family and friends for a straight donation or if they wanted to actually get something in return and then be able to raise the money for their trip. So that has worked out. We were really excited about the trip. I can't believe it's almost here.
So what's the trip, ladies? Where we headed?
Orlando.
That's in February, correct?
It's January
January.
13th
Okay.
through the 16th.
Yeah. We are not headed to Orlando, but the students are headed to Orlando. So
Some of our major, I guess, contributions, I would say, we, as a parent group, and there's about 80 members this year, we organize the volunteers for all of our events. That's primarily what we do, is to get out there and support all the music department events, like registration and freshman orientation and open house and football games and parades and concerts and receptions. We also do senior banners and T-shirts as a gift. We purchase awards for the end of the year. And that's not just for seniors, right? That's for all ages, right? Yep. And then our website is current, as we mentioned. And we just wanted to touch on a little bit, and I think some of the other parent groups can also, they might be feeling the same way. Like, one of our challenges is, we say we have 80 members, but as far as getting volunteers to come out and help us with some of our events, it's been rough. I don't know exactly why. And it's always, kind of seems like the same people. It's always the same people helping. That's typical, but it seems like heightened. I don't know if since the pandemic it was harder for people to come back, if they don't know exactly how to come back or what to do. We're not sure exactly how to engage our families better. But that's a challenge that I feel like we're all feeling. And it's just something minor. We still, between our, just getting contacts. So I think this year we tried to get it through the registration process. I don't know that we actually still have, if we've ever received the list. So between our working with our teachers and then we're trying to reach just our members, but trying to hit a broader audience, we struggle with just how to reach everybody to let them know what these volunteer opportunities are, what we're doing, how you can help. There's so many different ways that you can help. So that's just, and I think we're all working towards it and getting better. But those are just some things
people watching at home. It's rbhsmusicsponsors.com.
Yes.
I'll put a plug in, right?
Thank you. And thank you to Dr. Freitas for coming out to so many of our events and putting them on the Instagram Live.
And Mr. Lowe for running summer camp and just everything our administrators have been doing. It's been great, and congratulations to Mr. Baum and the new baby, and everything is rolling along great.
I think this is one of our largest marching bands also that we had this year, if I'm not mistaken. We're well over 100.
I think we were at about 130,
Okay.
and I want to say maybe, my kids are seniors now, but maybe freshman year was a little bit bigger than that.
Right. Great group, though. It was
So,
great to see them on
huge,
Friday nights.
yeah.
Yes.
It
They
was-
just kept coming across the street and coming.
Yeah,
It was great.
it required.
Yeah, we're like rebuilding, I think it's getting better, and we do think we'll be able to work with the middle schools this year to either have them here or us there to get them more excited about coming here and being in our music programs. We weren't really able to do that like we used to with the pandemic, and now we're just getting a little bit more back to normal and keeping the interest alive, like just that hopefully you're not playing on Zoom, and we're back to our groups and concerts and all the fun things that come with music.
Any
Thank
questions
you
from the
all.
board? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
for all
both.
you're doing.
Okay, now I'd like to invite Cindy and her cabinet members. Cindy's the president of the PTO. Come on up, Cindy, and a fellow educator.
To give me more than I need? I did. How much do I need back?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hi. Thank you so much. These are fun. Think of it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, pardon me. Didn't need to leave them out. There we go. I have them.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having us. My name is Cindy Vitek, and I am the president of the PTO. And
My name's Courtney Erb, and I'm the communications person for the PTO.
so on our handout that we've given you, you'll see that we have discussed all of the points that you had asked for. Our PTO officers are listed for this school year. We meet every month except December and June on the first Monday of the month, unless there's a holiday, then we push to the second Monday. Some of our projects last year, all of the students received a water bottle, a Bulldog water bottle you all did too last year. We did a Martin Luther King Day of Service where the students made packs for the homeless, is that right? We provide prom tickets, host the senior awards night reception, and then in the spring we had an ice cream truck come for all of the students. It was one of the last days before finals started, so it was out in front. And I wasn't there, but I heard it was a success. We did a couple of lunches for the staff, and then we were asked for 2 grants from staff members. One for the executive functioning committee.
Correct.
And one for the for articulated skeletons for the anatomy and health classes.
And you also do the directory, right?
We do the
Yes,
directory.
okay.
We do. And then the Veterans Day last year, we every veteran who was involved with the documentary received a Dunkin' Donuts gift card. We mailed them. So we are in compliance with the policy. Our certificate of insurance is on file. You can see our website, and you can go there whenever you are interested for our financials, our agendas, and other pertinent information, buying any PTO membership swag that you'd like. This year we have 157 member families, and 35 staff members have joined this year. So that's a total of 192 memberships, which is more than we have had
Good.
in previous years.
Staff numbers up, correct? That was
Yes.
the goal.
I think we were at
10.
10 last year.
So we're really happy about that, really happy.
Good.
And we provided you with, yes, this is our financial summary. And we are excited for this year and hoping that some more teachers will ask us for money for
Don't say that too hard.
we put it out there, and we are actually planning to do a little bit of an adult night fundraiser to boost the coffers a little bit, because there are always things that we want to do that we don't necessarily have the funds to do. So we thought we would try something this year. So that will be forthcoming, and we're really excited. We're happy to do what we do for the school, and Dr. Freitas is so great with us. We appreciate his support and his good humor at our meetings, and we appreciate all of your support as well.
Thank you very much, ladies. Any questions from the board? Thank you very much for everything.
Thank you.
Are all of the organizations linked to our website?
Yes.
Are they found there? Okay.
Yes.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
If you look at the handout, we have a new logo. Miss Katie had a little contest in one of her graphic design classes, and so that's the new logo, which was designed by freshman John Evans.
That's pretty
and,
sweet.
So we actually had 3 finalists, and we gave them all little gift cards, and but that's our new logo. So, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. You can see there. I'm the president, Dave Monty. Patty Sarkady is the treasurer, and then retired staff member and alumni Mary Todd Hunter is our secretary. Still haven't come up with a vice president yet. I don't know why, but we just haven't. The financials, everything is up to date on the website, which is rbef.tv. We just just paid the taxes today for the 1099, and we paid our insurance last month, but we still haven't gotten the new certificate yet. So on the website, the certificate expired December 7th. So I apologize for that. So as soon as we get it, we'll get that updated. But everything else is updated on the website. We had another. So for those of you that are new, we're a different group. We're not a parent group. We're just a nonprofit that was formed in 1987 to raise money, to give grants to teachers and to students for any educational program that they're interested in. So we don't have membership. It's just the 9 board members of the Board of Trustees. We have a couple new members this year, 2 alumni, which was nice because we lost a couple people. And so we're trying to maybe find 1 or 2 more people. We're losing 1 more person at the end of the month. So that's a challenge because, again, people are busy and usually it's the same pool of people, right? Just like with the kids, the same kids that are on math team or on chess team and on Scholastic Bowl and on Spanish and Model UN. It's the same kids. So anyway, but we're trying to again broaden our board of trustees. We 2 years ago or actually 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, the telethon was canceled the day before the telethon because of the pandemic, because of the lockdown. So that hurt because we had put all that work in and weren't able to put it on. And then in 2021, we did a raffle, and people like to win money. They don't like weird art and little things. It was a big success. We really had a lot of fun. And then last year we decided to kind of mix it up, and so we still did the raffle, but then we did a 4-hour entertainment telethon. So we weren't calling people, we weren't begging please pledge or whatever. It was every hour we were pulling winners, and we had all this great entertainment, and it was wonderful. The kids did a great job. We had the Redmonds, who were fantastic. The one bad thing about the pandemic was all those musicians and entertainers were not working, so we did have to pay. So we spent about $1,200 on entertainment, but it was well worth it. I mean, it was great to help those entertainers for their performances. So our sales were down a little bit. We still raised about $16,000 plus another $2,700 from donations. And then we gave out $7,000 in prize money, and then about $1,700 of that was donated back from the winners. They said keep it, and so that was very sweet. So we netted about $11,500, and we awarded over $21,000 in grants this year. So we had 22 students and only 2 staff members, but we awarded $21,000, and that's something, again, we're trying to encourage more staff to put in for grants. The kids were great, and pretty much we gave whatever a kid asked for, you got it. I mean, it was pretty. It was very fun to just that's what you're doing. Here's the money. Go do it. So it was really wonderful. Like I said, the website, everything is up to date. All the meeting agendas, minutes, financials, everything is up there by month. We usually meet the third Monday of each month, so we're meeting next Monday to close out the year. And then really, our challenges, like some of the other groups have said, is getting people to help, getting people to step up, and also I'm retiring in a couple years, and so we've had a lot of turnover. And so now I'm starting to worry about who's going to take over for when I retire. So we're just trying to plan things a little bit more so we have some continuity in terms of leadership in the foundation. Joanne Cozy, who is the person who founded this in 1987, she's still going. And I worry a little bit because her health's starting to get a little, so I'm like, we'll find somebody. You don't have to do everything, Joanne, but that's who she is, like me. She likes to have her hand in everything, but she's wonderful, and we would really miss her. So yeah, that's and then one last thing on the bottom there. the Julie Moy Scholarship that we raised, well, actually, her family and a lot of alumni raised a lot of money, and then we were just overseeing it just like we do some of the other memorial scholarships. But unfortunately, we didn't have any student apply for it last year, so we're really pushing in the applied arts area to let's get an applicant to so they can get a scholarship or a grant in her memory.
It's if they're pursuing culinary arts, correct?
Yes, we tried to expand it to applied arts because Julie was also the department head for applied arts, but her family really wanted to stick with culinary arts. That was their wish, and so we have to.
Our programs are growing, so.
Yeah. So we're hoping that this year we can get a culinary student that would apply for the scholarship.
So what's the plan in 23? It'll be the same.
So this year it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same format: the 4-hour telethon, entertainment, and the raffle. So it's the same. And then we're tweaking and having some ideas about what to do the following year and going forward.
Okay, looking forward to it.
Any questions for Dave? Great job, Dave.
Thank you
very much.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all the parent groups, correct? Okay, thank you. Parent groups, if you want to leave, this is a good time if you want to step out. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to stay for the levy and the tax levy, the hearing on the tax levy.
We are going to move on to the public hearing on the levy. I have a script. We're good to go. A quorum being present, the first order of business, official business, is to hold a public hearing for the 2022 tax levy. Due notice has been given of the public hearing, and statutory requirements preliminary to the holding of such a public hearing have been met. The proposed tax levy was first viewed at the November board meeting. Dr. Skinkis and Dr. Smetana will present the 2022 levy and answer any questions from the board. So I'll turn it over to Dr. Skinkis and Smetana. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Smetana presented this in November. Again, this will be, because historically we usually present what they call a max levy of 4.95. We are in a tax cap district, and so therefore in the state of Illinois we cannot exceed 5% on our tax levy. If you do levy for more than 5%, you do need to have a hearing. This is the first time we'll be conducting this hearing because the consumer price index is over 5%, and usually your levy is, regardless of what you levy, you usually get the consumer price index increase with some loss factor. So tonight is the first night we will actually, in my tenure, be doing a true hearing to levy more than 5%, and I will turn it over to Dr. Smetana.
Good evening. As Dr. Skink has said, the proposal is to approve a levy increase of 7% so that we can capture the PTEL limit, which is 5%, plus gain taxes on any new property or new construction. The new property trend is shown an average of $1.4 million in growth. That's not the money that we get, but that's the money that we can collect taxes on. If you look at Board Book page 5, you can see that column C is the extension or what the district was entitled to receive from the tax year in 2020. The next gray column is column F. That is the extension from the tax year 2020 or what we are entitled to receive. As we all know, many people are paying their property tax right now, so we haven't received about 47% of this yet, but we should be receiving that soon. And then column K is our levy for tax year 2022, which is what we're asking for. And as I previously said, it shows 7%, but that will be capped back down to the tax cap limit of 5%. And then column M is the new money we will likely receive, which is just over $1 million for our operating funds. Included in the board packet is also the state levy form, along with the certificate of the publisher, which shows that we met the requirements for truth in taxation. As Dr. Seaman said, this is the first year we are required to hold a levy hearing. However, we do hold a levy hearing every year and publish the public notice every year just for transparency.
Have there been any inquiries from any outside organizations such as newspapers since the last meeting?
No.
Any questions? I'm looking, any questions from the Board of Education on this? I think you guys both, thank you very much for the thorough briefing we had at the last meeting and this evening. The meeting is now open for public comment. Anyone here for public comment on the tax levy? Seeing none, we're going to declare the public hearing is closed on the tax levy. Can I have a motion to adjourn from the public hearing portion of our meeting?
I move the public hearing be adjourned.
Give a second. Second from Mr. Welch. We have an all in favor?
Aye.
Great.
And the regular meeting will now proceed, so we're back on our standard agenda. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Smetana and Dr. Skinkis, for being so thorough on all that information. There is no president's report. We have the superintendent's report this evening.
Do we need to offer visitors for non-meeting?
Oh,
just to be
thank you very much. Are there any visitors for the standard meeting? No? Okay. Hearing none, we'll go on to Dr. Skinkis' report.
I have a short report tonight,
Thanks.
Board of Education. I know we still have a report from Mr. Curtin, our athletic assistant principal for athletics, and our student representative. So district-wide communication survey as part of our Board of Education goals has been completed. Preliminary data has been compiled, and I am arranging for a representative from School Perceptions to review the data with the Board of Education. Right now he's scheduled for the January 24th Committee of the Whole meeting. The interviews for the special ed and STEM divisional positions will occur before winter break. Humanities and career and technical education interviews will occur the week of January 9th when the school returns from winter break. I was going to say we return. Hiring recommendations will be brought to the board during the 2 meetings in January. These are the new divisional positions that were as a result of the collective bargaining agreement approved last summer. The district calendar for 23-24 is on the agenda tonight for approval. I did not receive any additional comments or questions. Again, this was developed with input from the Culture and Operations Committee, as well as input and sharing with the feeder district superintendents. Winter break is December 23rd through January 6th. The district will be closed on the following dates: December 23rd, December 26th, December 30th, and January 2nd. The first day of second semester is Monday, January 9th, and that will be a late start to allow teachers time to accommodate any new students to their classes and semester courses to redo their seating charts and pull their rolls. In regards to the advisory councils, there will be an advisory council for facilities once we get final drawings and bid documents for the HVAC project, which is scheduled for hopefully the summer of '23. Policy Advisory Council is going to meet in January after winter break to review Press Packet 110, and then we'll have recommendations to the board before the January 24th COW meeting. And that is the superintendent's report for December 13th, 2022.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Assistant Superintendent's report, please.
Good evening. Tonight I'll provide the board with financial information through the month of November, which represents 42% of our fiscal year. Beginning on board book page 11, you'll see the monthly summary report. The total operating revenue for the month was $367,335, with 63% coming from evidence-based funding, our state funding, 21% coming from local fees, and 14% coming from student registration fees. The total operating expenditures for the month were $2,423,095, with 72% towards salary and benefits, 11% towards special education tuition, and 7% towards purchase services. On the next page, you'll see that the summary of fund balances shows that the district operating funds have an overall positive balance, and it's likely that we'll continue to rely on the fund balance to cover all of our December expenses, because as taxpayers are paying, it takes a little bit of time for Cook County to get the money distributed and for our township treasurer to give us the money. So we'll likely receive that revenue in January. The summary of revenues page shows the district has received 11.2% of our budgeted revenue for the year. This amount is obviously much lower than this time last year of 47.6% due to the delay in property taxes. The summary of expenditures shows that the district has spent 44.3% of the budgeted expenditures for the year. This amount is pretty similar to this time last fiscal year. As always, for the board's information, I've included the statement of revenues and expenditures for the month, which include all of our board accounts. And then I've also included the student activity account summary for the month, which is all of our student activity accounts. Keep in mind, negative account balances for that report means positive fund balances for that. Lastly, tonight I have a couple of informational items for the board. The first is our liability insurance. It's a very lengthy packet. It starts on board book page 36. But at the end of the month, we will have completed our second year with Alliant for liability insurance. We've been with Liberty Mutual these past 2 years. We have received an initial quote on next year's liability insurance, which is $163,980, which is a significant increase of 28%. The increase in the premium is primarily due to property tax values, it is due to the value of our property that has gone up significantly because it was reevaluated, which has resulted in significantly more coverage as well. We are looking at purchasing additional cyber liability, which would be around $15,000 because we would not take the liability insurance for cyber from Liberty Mutual, and so that would help offset the cost. And this is worst case scenario. Since I received this, we've been working with our broker to see how we can lower the cost. If we can spread out increasing property values over 2 years, we can look at deductibles, things of that nature. We have a meeting scheduled for Friday to review some of those options. The board will not approve this as our liability insurance will be expiring at the end of this month. So the board will be just approving the cost of the premiums in the January board meeting. But I did want to share all that information with you so that the board had it. Charge point chargers. So this past month, the district has activated 2 of its 4 charging stations for electric vehicles. These stations are available for students to use during the day if they have a parking permit. They're also available for public use outside of the school day. All users must have the ChargePoint app and have an account with them to use the chargers. And we're just waiting on a part in order for us to be able to activate the other 2 public use chargers. We also recently applied for a grant through ComEd that would give us $50,000 towards electric driver ed vehicles, which is what our other charging station is for. 5 schools are awarded this grant every year in sometime in 2023. They didn't say when they would award it, but I did apply for it to see if we could receive that. That would certainly help us. Next, I also included the quarterly business review from Aramark. It's a lengthy report that we receive at least twice a year. It begins on board book page 99. So this is just a summary of the work that's been completed between May and November. And Aramark is our purchase service for facilities, maintenance, custodial, etc. So just some highlights. They refinished the floors like they do every summer, but they also refinished the gym floor. They installed new bathroom partitions throughout the entire school. They installed the electric vehicle chargers for us, which saved us some money. They oversaw projects such as replacing the concrete ramp by door D, which is on the corner of the intersection right here. And then they also oversaw repairing a major sinkhole and a sewer line repair that you may have saw at some point in the front of the school. And they really do a great job for us. So I just would like to publicly recognize all of Aramark's staff for the hard work they do put in behind the scenes to make our school beautiful. I think we're really lucky to have such a lovely school, and it's because Aramark takes care of it like it's its home. And then I also wanted to just note there are also 4 people who have been working at Aramark and have been at RB for 20 years or more, which I think is remarkable. And that's also in the reports. That's Rosa Ramos, Maria Torres, Walter Dodd, and Nazmi Shefku. And then lastly, one other item that is not written on my report, but recently we've had a dishwasher in the cafeteria that's broke. That dishwasher is over 20 years old. It was never replaced when we did the renovation. And that's what we use for all of the sanitation in the cafeteria for all of the equipment that's being used. So I was able to purchase through a purchasing cooperative a new dishwasher and a booster heater. In total, that would be $29,000. So the board will see that in January or February when we actually receive it, and hopefully in January. It was really important to place that order as soon as possible because things are on back order. So right now, they are sanitizing. They're just doing everything by hand, and that certainly takes significantly more time. So I wanted to just call that to the board's attention as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks to Airmark. They do I mean, the school looks wonderful. It really does.
Just two small questions. What is the name of the app and where is the electric charging station going to be for public use?
So the app is called ChargePoint. You can just search it by putting in ChargePoint, one word. And the chargers are located in the student lot.
By the tennis courts.
Yes, yeah, like around the corner by the tennis courts. And we have signs up that say that they're used for electric vehicles only. And then we also have the asphalt marked as well.
Okay. And when we do end up with money coming in from the county taxes and to repay the interfund transfers, will that be a motion the board has to approve, or are you just allowed to move the money back?
No, it automatically goes back once the property taxes come back in.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? Comments? Thank you for all the information. Dr. Freitas, do we want to have the student advisors as part of your report, and then Mr. Curtin, or how do you want to handle it?
Yes, if it's okay with the Board of Education, I would like to bring Brendan Curtin, our Assistant Principal of Athletics, to present his report first.
This is on page 118, 119?
Excuse me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board. Tonight, I will report on the participation levels, as well as give you a little background of the past fall season, which participation numbers have increased by 35 student athletes compared to last fall. We experienced a participation increase in 6 of our 9 fall sports, with the other 3 numbers remaining steady compared to last year. So we saw increases in girls cross country, girls golf, girls swimming, boys golf, football, and boys soccer, while girls tennis, girls volleyball, and boys cross country remained relatively the same. We had a fantastic athletic season this past fall. Some of our highlights were the following items. Girls cross country, in every invitational race they participated in, they improved their finishing places from the previous year. Girls golf finished second in the Metro Suburban Conference and lost a team sectional berth by 1 stroke. Girls swimming had 5 members of the team make all conference honors and finished with a winning record at both levels. Girls tennis had a 2nd place finish at first singles for conference. Congratulations to Laura Huns. The program had a significant increase in participation for our freshman and sophomore levels, and we look forward to their continued development. Girls volleyball, we were extremely close to winning a conference title this year, lost on a tiebreaker. Congratulations to Kira Conroy. She was named the MSC Red Division Player of the Year, and our freshman team had multiple invitational victories and registered 28 victories on the season. Boys cross country, as mentioned earlier, state champions, the first in school history. The encouraging note there is we have a considerable amount of talent returning back for next fall. Football earned a playoff berth in the Class 6A playoffs, and the team returns a lot of experience as well next season. Boys golf had 4 individuals advance to sectionals. They had 17 golfers that played in varsity matches with average scores in the 40s. Last year, that number was 14. Tied their lowest team score ever at regionals with 335 strokes. Boys soccer won the Metro Suburban Conference title this year, while the team was led by Metro Suburban Conference Player of the Year, Hunter Ferguson. As I mentioned earlier, we had a fantastic start to the school year with our athletic teams, and we are hopeful that we can sustain this momentum as we head into the winter season.
Brendan, I don't mean to put you on the spot. Can you just provide briefly what's the status of the current conference we're in? And I know the board is aware that we're exploring other conferences. We did
Sure.
put in a letter to
With
one
where we're at
conference.
today, we compete in the Metro Suburban Conference. I think many of you know there are many private and Christian schools in that conference that are breaking off. They're either entering the Chicago Catholic League or they are forming a Christian, Chicagoland Christian Conference. That leaves us with the three other public schools, if you will, Westmont, Ridgewood, and Elmwood Park. So the plan is to stay together going into next year for virtually every sport that, our sports compete in that conference, if you will, right? Swimming, water polo, sports like that, obviously they compete in an independent conference. But for our traditional sports, basketball, soccer, football, baseball, softball, and so on, that will remain in the Metro Suburban. As far as football goes, just didn't think it would be a fulfilling experience to ask our boys to play the same opponents twice within a season. So we secured a spot in the Southland Athletic Conference. They have an odd number of teams. So Riverside Brookfield would make number 8. We would be an honorary member in that conference for football only. They understand things could change. But heading into the 23 fall season, that will be the plan for the football program. And again, so basically we're exploring avenues with every neighboring conference. Dr. Freitas and myself, under Dr. Skinkis's guidance, have reached out to numerous conferences in the area. And as I've mentioned before, it's a little bit like a dinner party. You need to be invited. You just can't, will yourself into a conference. So that's basically in a nutshell where we're at right now.
So we're good shape for the fall. Basketball and baseball next year. We'll play it by ear.
Correct. Obviously it allows us to strengthen our non-conference schedules, if you will, a little bit and be a little more daring if those opportunities present itself, right, for our soccer program and basketball and volleyball and things of that nature.
Being a single school district, we have great participation numbers, as Brendan showed you tonight, just with the fall, let alone across winter and spring. So a lot of our teams, you'll see, like even for freshman volleyball, I don't know if you noticed, but like it says, the freshman A team was like 28-12, the B team was like 11. They played, but if you look under the MSC, they were 2-0 and 5-1. Like, so that means a lot of the teams in our conference do not have the participation numbers or levels. So we're trying to find conferences that we can play freshman, sophomore, and varsity sports in almost all of our sports, or like in the water polos and the sports that have a varsity and a JV, we have both levels. So we're girls golf just added a second level this year. So we're trying to find a conference that can accommodate all of our levels in student participation. One of the other things like that Brendan mentioned was not only is it like a dinner date where you have to be invited, a lot of times most of these conferences are at even numbers. And so what happens is they want you to bring a date. So not only are you trying to find an invitation, but then you have to find someone who's looking to leave their conference and is of suitable size and has multiple levels and can fit in well with that conference. So we have been working on this for over a year. I would say probably closer to 2 years. But we will continue to work on it, and as updates are available, we will report back to the board. And I know some of you have received comments or questions from the community, so that's why I asked Brendan to just touch on that tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any more comments, questions?
Just a question, what does the football season look like with regard to the 4? Will they play those teams, or will football just go with the...
Going into this fall, so we will not play any of those Metro Suburban Conference teams. We have 2 non-conference games to open up the season. Week 1's against Morton, week 2's against Hinsdale South, and then we would play the remaining teams in the Southland Athletic Conference. Just got that schedule yesterday, so off the top of my head, some of those teams are Rich Township, Bloom Township, Thorn Ridge, Thornton, Kankakee, Crete-Monee. So I think we're looking at 5 home games next year, 4 on the road.
And how do the other 3 schools in the MSC, how are they addressing this right now? Do we know?
What are their plans moving forward with football? They formed a conference with some similar schools in terms of enrollment and levels. I think, truthfully speaking, I think outside of Ridgewood, the other two schools only had one level of football. Ridgewood, I think, had two, whereas Westmont and Elmwood Park might have had one level of football, or actually Elmwood Park did have two levels. But they're joining a conference with some southern region schools that are a little bit more comparable in size. So at the end of the day, I think it was a good fit for all parties involved, and it just happened to work out well where we were number 8 and they were number 6, 7, and 8 in their conference.
Thanks, Brennan.
Thank you.
Questions? We're good? Okay, thank you. Our student advisors to the board. Oh, and I'm sorry, Dr. Freitas, you had something to say beforehand? I was, do you want to put them in the wrong order here?
Paulina, Asia, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
So next week marks the start of final exams, and personally, I can say that it's been a great semester, especially with all I learned from the Board of Education and generally how the school operates. And school-wise, it's been quite a difficult semester, but finals are coming up next week, so I'm excited to just get into next semester. And this past Thursday, we met with Dr. Freitas, and we discussed adding a Spanish option to our automated voice message when you call the school, because I realized there was no Spanish message, and that can be a bit, be difficult, especially with our attendance. Parents have to call in to mark their child excused, and a lot of parents probably don't speak English, so I think that could be a good addition. Continuing with finals, seniors are beginning to be informed about exemption status, and so the way that works is if students reach a benchmark SAT score in a math or English class, they're exempted from that final, or an A in a semester-long class, and attendance is also really important for senior exemptions. And I think yesterday we got informed based off attendance if we were exempt from finals. And I think there could be an adjustment made there for the timing of letting students know whether they're exempt or not, because I think personally, I think a week before might be cutting it a little close for students who want to start studying in advance, and if they're unsure about whether they're taking finals or not. Moving on to student culture, this past week, Student Association did a coat and blanket drive, and they collected over 447 items of winter clothing. And these items were donated to the Salvation Army, and 155 families were able to receive clothing. And also this past week, there was a holiday concert from the music department. It featured the band, orchestra, the choir, and all variations of each. And I went to this concert, and I can say that it was really nice, and I think we can support even more our music department. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Yeah, I heard it was a fabulous show.
Good evening, everyone. Just going off of what Paulina said about exemptions, this semester they're going off of SAT scores and grades for half semester courses, but next semester, if it's like all the other years, seniors would be able to get exempt out of all their classes if they have an A in the full year semester courses, and then if you have a B plus or an A, you can get exempt from AP courses. And then I also agree that I think they need to come out a little bit sooner so we know what to prepare for, because now if we're finding out today about which finals we're getting exempt from, we only have a couple days to study for those because they start on Monday. This semester for me has been pretty good. I've gone to see multiple teachers for extra help just because I needed it. Being absent from like a couple sick days, they were very accommodating, and I was able to get all my work done online. And then moving on to sports and culture, the boys basketball team has done very well so far, and they actually have a game December 16th against St. Francis, which is at home. And then the boys swimming and diving team has also started their season, and their next meet is on December 16th at Downers Grove South, which is at 5 p.m. And last week, the RB girls basketball team had their senior night against Westmont, and RB took the win. And this coming Monday is the Pack the Place event, and I think it's at 7. And then going back to the report I made last meeting about the college fly-ins, I would still suggest that counselors can look into the college fly-in programs for any students that qualify. And usually when the fly-ins are happening, they look for underrepresented populations. And I think that since there's a growing minority population at RB, a lot of students would qualify from this, especially the juniors and seniors, because the colleges are paying for you to come visit and you get to indulge in what they have to offer. And I just think it's a really great experience because the professors there and everyone that helps with the fly-in, they get to know you, and it kind of puts like a star on your resume when you go to apply. And I just think it's a great opportunity, but if you don't know about it, then you're missing a great chance. So I really think that counselors could start looking into it for their students.
Thank you for your feedback. Yeah.
Good job, guys, both.
Any comments, questions for our students?
You both participated in the fly-ins, correct?
Yeah.
Is it a multiple thing, or do you do it one? Have you done it once?
I personally did a college fly-in once to Miami, Ohio.
Okay.
And then I was accepted into a health and sciences camp for 1 week at University of Delaware. The college fly-ins are usually like 1 to 2 days.
I was wondering about the sweatshirt, if Delaware was somewhere in the mix, right?
This one was a week long, and it was application based, but Miami, Ohio was also application based, but it's like a one night thing. But they reimburse your airfare, they pay for your transportation, so it's really a good experience because all you have to do is write an essay, whatever they're asking, and if you get in, you're getting paid for.
Great.
How fast did the semester go for each of you?
It was really fast. I'm not going to lie, it was very fast. I can't believe we're already going into winter break. I think being a senior kind of added to that because I remember going to some of the football games, and now it's like it was so far away.
Yeah, went fast for me too.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Dr. Freitas, I kind of jumped around on you in your report.
Good evening, honorable board members. First of all, I just want to start off by thanking Paulina and Asia. Whenever we meet, they bring serious business items to our meetings, and we have, fulfilling discussions, and we plan ahead. So it's been really great to working with you young ladies this semester. I want to thank all of our teachers and all of our staff for a fantastic semester. Without the teachers in the classroom and the staff supporting the building, there's no way we have a great semester. So thank you to everybody that I work with. I would like to thank our district, Dr. Ronstad and Dr. Skinkis, especially for supporting a Chris Borsheim celebration of life. If you saw me on RB's Instagram live here this past Saturday, there was like 300-400 people, celebrating, Chris Borsheim. Chris Borsheim was a former paraprofessional and a cheer coach here who got the 2010 second place in state title. He left his mark and his legacy here, and he wanted a celebration, so we did a little dancing, we did a little cheering, did a little crying, of course, as well, and I just had an amazing time. Chris and I, we became friends, participating in the dancing with the Brookfield Chamber of Commerce, and if you could indulge me, I'll remind you of our first encounter. So we would practice here after school, and I felt good, right? I have a shot to win this, I got some rhythm, I can dance, I grew up dancing, and I meet Chris, right? I come in, I'm going out, I shake his hand, and I say, today's the best of my life, and he says the same, today's the best day because I'm alive. But then I notice a little shoebox underneath his arm. I'm like, I wonder what this guy has. Then I see him take out these beautiful dancing shoes with about 2-3 inch heel, and I said, I'm in trouble. Chris Borzheim went on to win the Dancing with the Stars competition. The man, God rest his soul, was a fantastic dancer. So I'd like to thank our district office for supporting with that. Now back to my agenda here. So to address the areas of improvement as identified in the Illinois School Report Card, we'll be doing the following. For the 5 Essentials survey, we're going to be testing all students on a specific day in January, similar to an SAT day. We're going to run a report to see who tested and not, and then we're going to follow up with individual students and teachers. I'm not going to let this pass. I'm going to make sure that we earn all of our points when it comes to the 5 Essentials participation. To lower the chronic absenteeism rate, first and foremost, I sent an attendance letter this evening, and I'll summarize the letter. To the state, whether you excuse or not, absences hurt you. So in the letter, I outline some alternatives, because I need the community. If we want to be an exemplary school, I need the students here. So for college visits, you can do that right on holidays or on days when we're not in session. For doctor visits, as doctors work on the weekends, doctors work late in the evening, right? So I'm asking parents of the community to set those appointments, because I understand and I respect, and those situations are excused, but I need everyone's help. I need students here so we can lower the chronic absenteeism rate. We're going to establish Remind student groups. Remind is an application, one way where students get text messages. I realize that students use Remind often. So we're going to be up texting students via the one-way Remind application. We're going to establish parent connections. We're going to create individual student plans of success. We're going to promote building signage all around the school. And in our cafeteria, it's a thing of beauty. Our deans check in with students. They have one-on-one conversation. What can we do to help? What's going on? Tell us more. Our student affairs office, my deans and my assistant principal, Mr. Dave Mannon, attending a professional development for how to improve attendance and lower chronic absenteeism. And in the spring, we'll be hosting a parent workshop focused on attendance and supports. To improve EL progress to proficiency, first and foremost, I would like to recognize the EL coordinator, one of our teachers, Mr. Armando Venegas. We're going to be hosting a practice access testing session. We're going to facilitate a meeting with all EL students, because sometimes when it comes to tests, students kind of go through it fast. So we're going to remind them the importance of it, to take their time and to do their best. So I will be working with my EL coordinator and staff members with the students, and then I'm currently working with the district office to expand EL programming needs. Our district equity leadership team, ARDEL, the next meeting will be Wednesday, March 15, 2023. We're still currently developing the goal for the 5 strands. And, one brief update, I'm really excited that there are teachers that keep on talking to me and say, Dr. Freitas, we want to join the DEL, If this is about inclusivity, right, I have to include the opinions of others. So we're going to bring in some new staff members on board second semester as well for that. For our Panorama dashboard, our teachers are continuing to use the Panorama dashboard and STAR data to inform their practice and to prepare their lessons. Under school culture and operations, as stated, final exams run next week, December 19th through the 22nd, Monday through Thursday. Our winter and Christmas break runs from the 23rd to the 6th. The first day of second semester is Monday, January 9th. It'll be a late start so our teachers can plan and prepare effectively for the second semester. But I will say this, that parents, you can still drop off students at a normal time. You don't have to get any special, babysitters or anything like that. Our cafeteria will be open in the morning. Our building will be open at a regular time. Students may have to wait and hang out in the caf for an extra hour, until we begin homeroom at 8:55. But we will have late start on the first day back. And that concludes, activities and athletics. Big day this upcoming Monday, Pack to Play. Special Olympics basketball starts at 6 p.m. I don't want to give the surprise, but we're going to be doing a special activity. I'm partnering with Jen Royer and the Athletic Boosters. We're going to have a good time. So to the board members, to all the community, please come to Pack to Play for the Special Olympics Monday, December 19 at 6 p.m. Special surprise will be happening that day. And that concludes my principal's report.
Thank you, Dr. Freitas.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from anyone? Thank you for the comprehensive report. Moving on, update on district goals. I don't think we wanted to discuss it this evening, but it is in the agenda. Dr. Skinkis?
It is in the agenda, and Mary Ann included each individual tab for each goal now, so the board members can look through there and where we're at and the progress we're making on each goal.
I personally am looking forward to the results of the communication survey in January. I think that'll be very informative. But does anyone want to discuss the goals further this evening? Looking around. Okay, let's move on to the FOIA request. I believe there was one.
One FOIA request from Pro Procurement. We get this pretty much every quarterly. Smart Procure, excuse me.
Smart, okay. And there were no questions, no comments. Any additional discussion items from members of the Board of Ed? Hearing none. Consent items. Ms. Gaska?
The Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois, takes the following action on the listed consent agenda items. Approves minutes from the meetings held on November 15, 2022, open and closed. School calendar 2023-2024, as presented in the December 13th, 2022 board agenda packet.
Second.
We have a second from Mr. Welch. And roll call.
Ms. Gasko?
Yes.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Ms. Slack?
Yes.
Mr. Van Horst?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
Mr. Durkin?
Yes.
Ms. Salas?
Yes. Did you include the school calendar in the motion? I apologize.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
She did.
Thank you. I heard it, but I didn't hear it. I heard a lot of dates, so just wanted to double check
It
that was
read
officially
awkwardly.
approved.
Yes.
Yes. No, thank you very much.
So the calendar is official.
Okay.
Because we have been getting some calls from parents.
Yes. No, and I appreciate the administration working with the new committee to bounce some dates back and some suggestions. I think that sounded like it was a productive discussion. Old business, any action items on the life safety items, capital improvement, sustainability?
No new updates. The train units or the units were purchased from the purchasing cooperative. We're waiting for bid documents and hoping to go out to bid in this January.
And moving on to the adoption of the 2022 tax levy.
All right. Whereas the Board of Education of Riverside Brookfield Township High School District Number 208, Cook County, Illinois, has determined the amount of money that is necessary to be raised by taxation for the year 2022. And whereas the Board of Education has heretofore adopted a budget resolution for the district for the fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2022 and ending June 30th, 2023. And whereas the Board of Education disclosed at a public meeting its intention to adopt the levy, and whereas the Board of Education provided notice of its intent to adopt a levy, now therefore be it, and it is hereby resolved by the Board of Education of Riverside Brookfield Township High School District Number 208, Cook County, Illinois, as follows. 1, there shall be, and there is hereby levied by the Board the amount set forth on Exhibit A attached hereto, and made a part of this resolution, which is the certificate of tax levy for the year 2022. And 2, that the board president and board secretary are hereby authorized to execute the certificate of tax levy and supporting forms and certifications. And the district administration is hereby authorized and directed to file the certificate of tax levy and all supporting forms and certifications with the county clerk of Cook County, Illinois.
Second.
Second by Mike Welch.
Do you need a roll call, please?
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Ms. Slack?
Yes.
Mr. Van Horst?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
Mr. Durkin?
Yes.
Ms. Gasko?
Yes.
And Ms. Salas?
Yes. Final item for action right now is the Life Touch photography contract extension.
Kristen, do you want to provide a brief update? I believe we touched on this. Did we touch on this last
I don't think there were
meeting?
any questions on it, were there?
There were no questions submitted.
Okay. Can we move ahead with the motion? Any objection? Okay. Thank you.
The Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois, approves the extension of the Life Touch contract for the years 2022-23, 2023-24, and 2024-25 under the same specifications of the current agreement without changes, as presented in the December 13, 2022 board agenda packet.
Second.
A second from Mr. Welch, and roll call, please.
Ms. Slack?
Yes.
Mr. Van Horst?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
Mr. Durkin?
Yes.
Ms. Gasko?
Yes.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Ms. Salas?
Yes. Payment of bills?
There were no questions submitted tonight on payment of bills.
And seeing none here, I think we can move forward then. Thanks, Lorraine.
The Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois, approves the payment of bills as presented in the December 13, 2022 Board Agenda Packet.
Second.
Second from Mr. Welch.
Mr. Benhorst?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
Mr. Durkin?
Yes.
Ms. Gasko?
Yes.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Yes. Ms. Salas?
Yes. Disposal of surplus personal property.
This is something the board, the administration brings to the board every December and every June. Dr. Smetana will provide a brief update.
Sure. So in Exhibit 1, I provided a list of surplus AV equipment, computer equipment, athletic equipment, and building equipment that the district is looking to dispose of. When typically all of this equipment is very outdated, or it is in need of desperate repair that is beyond what is cost effective. Whenever possible, we try to sell, recycle, or donate some of this equipment.
Any discussion, comments? Let's move forward.
The Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois, approves the disposal of surplus personal property belonging to the district that is no longer needed for school purposes as presented in the December 13, 2022 Board Agenda Packet.
Second.
Second from Mr. Welch. Roll call.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
Mr. Durkin?
Yes.
Ms. Gasko?
Yes.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Ms. Slack?
Yes.
Mr. Benhorst?
Yes.
And Ms. Salas?
Yes. Tell us about the gas contract, please.
Yeah, the policy, there's no action, so there's, you had one other.
Did I skip one on there? The press policy, it was
Yes,
first
we'll have-
read.
We'll have that up in January, so no action.
You can tell I want to just move along now.
I hear
I'm
you.
sorry.
For
Okay. Press policy, if you have any questions, please submit them. You guys are meeting in January, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you for the reminder. Gas contract.
So the district has worked with a group called Nania Energy Advisors since 2019. And the consultant assists the district with participating in an electricity savings program that generates some revenue for the district. In addition, they assist in watching market prices for natural gas. In February of 2020, the district was able to lock in gas prices that were at an all-time low. You can see it on the chart that I provided. The attached pricing that I provided only covers the usage charge. As with any utility, there are other fees as well, including a delivery charge. So historically, we spend anywhere from $60,000 to $70,000 a year on natural gas. The administration received 3 initial quotes for gas prices on November 15th. The lowest price is an increase of 112% at 0.57 therms, or cents per therm. Gas prices are constantly changing, and you aren't able to lock in a gas price unless you already have a contract ready to go and you lock it in at that specific price. Even throughout the day, gas prices fluctuate. And so as a result, based upon the increase in cost, I thought maybe we could approach this a little differently this year, and I ran this by the Finance Advisory Council earlier in the year. But I'm requesting that the board consider approving a resolution giving the administration the authority to enter into an actual 5 cents per therm, and in doing so, I'll be able to work with our energy consultant and watch the market and then try to lock in the best price that we think we can get. I'm already also have worked with our legal counsel to review the contract language with Constellation and Mansfield, as those two, in addition to Direct Energy, are really the only 3 that are interested in working with schools, and we already have a contract with Direct Energy, and so that would be the same contract language that we already have in place. So I know this is a little unconventional. I was just trying to find a way to save the district some money if the board was interested in taking this approach.
So we put a minimum and a maximum on there when we created the action sheet. Obviously, if we found something lower than 45 cents, I would think the board would want us to go with that, but where we're at right now. The other reason why we were looking for a range is because the board can approve it tonight at 57, and by the time we finalize and lock in the contract, that number could change. So technically, it would not match the resolution. So we thought it would be better to provide a range, so that gives us some flexibility to negotiate.
I'm not sure I'm-
Resolution just says not to exceed.
Okay, that's what I was gonna put, okay, it's only not to exceed, okay.
Correct.
Because we were hopeful as to maybe if we gave a low range, perhaps maybe it could come in lower than that. So we didn't want to pigeonhole ourselves. I don't think that's going to certainly be the case, but so we revised the resolution so that it would not to exceed a certain
Right.
cost.
But we put a range in it. In the past, the last time we did this, we had what you saw on this next page, the cent amount, and we went with 0.582. Well, that could change tomorrow to 0.59 or 0.6. So that's why we decided to go with a range.
What's everyone's thoughts on this?
I think a range in watching the market is the best we can do.
I mean, there is such fluctuation, and we know it's gone up. Any questions, comments? Do you want us to approve this tonight? Is that the preference?
Yes, that would be
Okay.
helpful.
Then I'm comfortable moving forward if everyone else is. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, are we looking at a 1, 2, or 3-year locked-in rate, or? Is that what-
Probably a 3-year, that
As
those
that was
rates
the-
tend to drop.
Okay.
But we're open to continuously looking at 1, 2, and 3, but typically the 3-year term gives us the best rate.
So it's just a not to exceed.
Correct.
I'm good with that.
Okay. The Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois, approves the resolution giving the administration the authority to enter into a natural gas contract with gas prices not to exceed 65 cents per therm as presented in the December 13, 2022 Board Agenda Packet.
Second.
Second from Mr. Welch. Go roll call, please.
Mr. Durkin?
Yes.
Ms. Gasko?
Yes.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Ms. Black?
Yes.
Mr. Van Horst?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
And Ms. Saylor?
Yes. Okay, and this is our second opportunity for visitor statements. Sure, please, come on up.
My name is Cindy Reynolds. My daughter's Haley Rayfield. She's an alumni, and my son is Chancellor Rayfield. He's a current student. But I'm on the board of music sponsors. My daughter's been out of school 2 years, and my son's not in music. I stayed on it because I really believe in the program. But I just want to let you guys know that, it's the teachers. There are a fair amount of kids that do go into music for their careers, and it's definitely because of the teachers. I mean, my daughter, I didn't, do anything to encourage her. I mean, whatever. I was, if that's what you're interested in, I'll do it. But I didn't sign her up for piano lessons or anything like that. I mean, she did it on her own, but a lot because she was encouraged by someone at District 96, and then here at RB. So we're very thankful for the programs, and I just wanted to say that. And it's been, we're very happy that you were able to keep Mr. Loeb full-time. He's really good. It's been helpful. And, do what you can to keep the music programs, especially because a lot of the kids didn't start in music during the pandemic, so the numbers are going to be lower, but they'll get there. It's been hard. But anyway, thank you very much for all you guys have done. And she's doing great. She's a sophomore at Ithaca College. So.
Thank you.
Good to hear. Thank you for staying and providing help. Thanks. We didn't have any discussion items requested. Do we have any consideration of items for future meetings from anyone?
We went to that conference, which seems like an eternity ago. It was less than a month ago. And I know there's been some questions, because we are members of the Illinois Association of School Boards. And, we had the delegate assembly, which was quite interesting this year. It was a lot of discussion. It ran quite late. So maybe next month, I can bring you a summary. And I did attend a couple of sessions that talked about some of the things that they were doing for us.
Yeah, that would be, I think.
Real quick, a couple of minutes just to.
That would be helpful, and maybe in addition, I know that after the sessions I went to, they put information on the app from
Yes.
the website, and
Yes.
perhaps our superintendent could indulge us and put some things in the Friday packet if there's some material you wanted to share with everyone.
Yeah, that if anybody else had
That's okay with
different
you.
things.
Just forward it to me what you want to share out.
Yeah, and that's, so for the next meeting, and the plenaries, if I went to the Saturday and Sunday plenaries, and they were just really amazing this year, quite spectacular.
Okay, so we'll look for an IASB report out then next.
Laura, just send me anything you want me to include in the Friday update. I'd be happy to include it.
Okay, but not till Christmas.
After Christmas.
It's all things brown until Christmas.
I got you. I got you. There's only one more Friday update anyway.
Okay.
We'll see you in January.
Matters for closed session. We have appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body. Student discipline, individual student matters, purchase, sale, or lease of real property, probable imminent or pending litigation, collective negotiations, school safety, and confidentiality of closed session minutes. Can we have a motion to go into closed session?
The Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois, enters closed session for the purpose of considering the closed session matters as presented in the December 13, 2022 Board Agenda Packet.
Second.
Second from Mr. Welch. Give a roll call, please.
Ms. Gasko?
Yes.
Ms. Ruska?
Oh, yes.
Ms. Black?
Yes.
Mr. Benhorn?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
Mr. Durkin?
Yes.
And Ms. Davis?
Yes. Okay, it's 8:30. Could we take a few minutes